This is my book that I chose for the Caldecott video analysis assignment. I chose The Adventures of Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend by Dan Stanton. And the first thing that I noticed when I picked out this book was the fact that it has a dual image cover. So we've got the wonderful, cute, hand-drawn art style. I'd say it looks more sketchy than paintery. You got those really nice cross-hatching, and it looks like it's been colored in. Here's our little friend, Beagle, and a little dog. And then on the back, we've got a wonderful continuation of him walking, sorry, the glare, of him walking through a sea of people all by himself. Poor friend. Dual image cover, and then says on the back, sometimes the best friends lie just beyond your imagination. I love the little barcode as a cloud. Clouds make me think of like imaginary, like dreamlands, and that's really cool. Now, I can't take the dust jacket off because it's taped to the book, but I can gently open the book flat and take a peek and see that there's a little surprise. The hardcover cover is not the same as the dust jacket, and then also the cute little behind image on the back kind of parallels the dust sleeve, but in a more simplistic way. Very cute. And let's get this open, shall we? So, first thing I noticed are these wonderful end pages depicting all of these cute little kids with their imaginary friends. And it looks like they all kind of match their personalities, which is really, really sweet. But the most important thing is that Beagle's all alone. He doesn't have a friend with him. And so I think that's what this book is about. I know I read the book quite a few times already. Very cute. But if we draw our attention over towards the flap, see that there's some art here. There's a little summary about the book, and then also a little note about Dan Stanton, and a lovely little picture of Beagle on his boat sailing across the ocean. Also has the price. Alright, let's get into it. Here's the title page, The Adventures of Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend. And I think this is Dream Island, where Beagle starts out with, and see those really pretty lines that lengthen the image. Very pretty. Alright. So one thing that's super duper cool about this book is how it has so many different art styles. This one's like really cross-hatchy. This one looks like it was rendered in like a digital art program. This one's puffy. Everybody's got a different texture, which makes a lot of sense because different kids are thinking of these imaginary creatures. And then it's super bright and colorful. You're just overwhelmed with the saturation of this beautiful rainbow coming in off the page. Like illuminating the whole forest, I assume, with all the roughage and the trees. And there's Beagle, waking up from his nap. He was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, in which eagerly waiting to be imagined by a real child. Beautiful depictions of color. Everything's really, really dark and cool toned to show that it's nighttime. A closer look at all the character designs. So diverse, so pretty. Here we go. See all these little crumbs, or not crumbs, but like little sand dots. It shows that the cat's being lifted off the page. Goodbye, kitty. Every night he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. One thing that is very abundantly clear about this book is that it is full, absolutely full of dual page spreads. There's not very many pages in this book that don't have this wonderful art that fills up the entire environment of the page. And I think that's really awesome for a book about imaginary friends, because it creates a very vast and imaginative atmosphere, except for this page. It's so empty. But that emptiness fills the page, and when you look over here, he's all alone. Which this is a good bird's eye view of this huge beach, and I love that he doesn't take up the whole page. It's really zoomed out because he's all alone. He's lonely, and no one has picked him to be their best friend yet, which is really sad because look at that face. He's so sweet. All right. His mind filled with the thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So rather than waiting, there he is. So the sky is full of so many wonderful kids and so many potential best friends that this little dude is thinking of. And then there's him in the corner, and he's building something. You can see the shape in the background and how the light makes him seen against that back. Oh, the glare's so bad. And how the light makes him visible against the silhouette of that, what I assume is a ship, a boat-shaped object, because of what we saw over here in the flap. So there's this one kid, and he's imagining him doing all these wonderful things, and see all the vignettes of this kid. Beautiful, beautiful work. And I also love how the contrast of the fire against the blue background really makes Beagle pop. It draws your attention from everything that's going on over here down. Beautiful double page spread. He did the unimaginable, and now he's going. And all this foam is very fluid and movable, and you can see that all of his friends are there in the background, really, really, really far away. And then there's Beagle, but he's still alone, so he's out in the big wide world. He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things, but thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on. So there he is on top of the whale, and he's still alone. So this, even though the page is full of visual interest, he's still only so tiny, and he's the main character. The whales are really cool, though. Look at that. And he's even smaller here. You can see it's him because of the little white dot and the yellow crown. Until he reached the real world. And here's where all that color starts to go away. The ocean's blue, and you can see that's like a bluish green, then it gradients into this really monochrome city environment. And oh my goodness, this is so much more boring than the imagination land. The real world was a strange place. There were no kids eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music, and everyone needed nap time. You can see the little single page, and then the panels over here really illustrates the fact that he's moving through the real world and exploring his environment. Then he finally saw something familiar. So he followed. There's that wonderful blue that strikes really, really obviously against the black and gray-toned background. And there's our little friend. His cute little crown. The yellow makes him really stick out, which is good for main characters. Oh, and this is my favorite page. He had a good feeling about this place, but he looked everywhere. And my favorite thing is that you can see him going along this wonderful line. You can see him going up the slide and then down the slide, and you can follow him through this wonderful playground. And there's all of these kids, but this line really tracks throughout, and it leads you off the page. And he couldn't find his friend, which is so sad. He climbed to the top of a tree that looked out, wishing his friend would come. I love that this tree takes up the entire page. It's so pretty. And really shows how small he is. And I love how this is either the sun or the moon. I'm assuming it's the setting sun because he's been looking all day, but it looks like a spotlight, and it's like draws your eye. Boom, there's Beagle. Or Beagle, like, yeah, he doesn't have a name yet. Oops. There's the other little kids, and I love how the leaves are stars. That really adds a lot of whimsy to the book. But he's sad, so the stars float away. But no one came, and you can see how this kid's darting off the side of the screen. He's very action towards the side, and then the wind blows that way, and it kind of pushes him and the leaves off the page. But there's Beagle. He's so sad. He thought about how far he'd come and how long he'd waited, and he felt very sad. And then he heard a noise below. Hello! Someone sees him. Someone sees him. So there's this little girl, and there's Beagle, and there's a bird's eye view, and that helps the reader connect with him a lot because we are also looking for his friend alongside him. So we also see her. We go, oh my gosh, there she is. And then there's a page of just wordless, beautiful, wonderful art. I love all the warm tones. It's warm, especially since he found her and it was cold before. Warmness and togetherness. And I also love how the camera is zoomed in now to show that, like, a sense of togetherness. He's not alone anymore. Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. Beautiful, beautiful close-up. Till he's really looking at her. At first, they weren't sure what to do. Neither of them made a friend before. But after a little while, they realized they were perfect together. I love that these vignettes show the course of a conversation, and they read kind of like left to right. And they're awkward, but they're laughing about it, and they're getting to know each other. And it shows their entire first conversation, and then it ends with her giving him a name, which is so sweet. He's Beagle now. Beagle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks, and they told funny stories. All the color is coming back because he's found his friend, and she's so imaginative, and she's nothing like the real world that he thought that he was going to have to live in. And the world began to feel a little less strange, and we can still see that monochrome background. But towards the kids, it's all super colorful and super imaginative. And then there's the little lizard we saw from the close-up sidewalk shot. And maybe they'll make friends. Very, very sweet. Look at all the drawings, too. That's such good work. So pretty. Finally, all the color is back after being so monochrome. It says, and together they did the unimaginable. All right, and back here we have a author's page about the author and his kids, which is super cute. And then we also have the copyright information down here as well, copyright 2014. And my favorite detail is all of the imaginary friends are on the back once more on that back page. On the back, yes, on the back. And we see Alice and Beagle together as friends when in the beginning he was all alone. Here's some more author information on the back flap. This little kid. And that is the end of our book. Thank you so much.